Welcome back to Black Skies Reviews. In this review, we'll be taking a look at Joytoy's officially licensed Warhammer 40k Ultramarines Primaris Techmarine Brother Tybestis 1/18 scale action figure. These are recommended for ages 15 and up. Here's the packaging it comes in. Here's the front of the box. Here's the back of the box. Shows some product images. A very large one. All stuff you get. Some smaller ones. Where we have the front, the back, and a close-up of the chest and the head sculpt. So all that gear you get. Looks pretty cool. Here's the top of the box. Bottom of the box. Here's the side of the box. Here's the other side of the box. And here it is inside the clamshell. Looks pretty good. Alright, here is outside the packaging. My first impressions, it's like the Ultramarines. Why isn't he blue? He's kind of red. Then we should think of Blood Angels, whatnot. But he's actually part of the Ultramarines. Kind of off. You do see the logo here on his knee. Well, he's pretty cool looking. Here is his helmet sculpt. We have the iron skull done in gold. We have some tubing here on the side. We have a cylinder done in gunmetal. His eyes are like a greenish. Two on the side there. Across his chest, we do have these wires that actually are not sculpted on. They're actually wires. You can see they can move them around. They're actually attached freely. And in the center with this really cool Techmarine symbol, iron skull, and the gear behind it. Yellow and black hoses also are free flowing. We have this like the metal bolts throughout his chest armor there. Some pieces right there. Pretty cool. A lot to see on his chest there. This is really awesome. His shoulder pauldron with the silver gears around the pauldron. Then we have the black and white skull. It's almost like a yin yang type thing with the black and white. Very, very cool. Those hoses do come around the back into where you would put his power pack, and it goes in as all free flowing. That's very nice. And this hose here is also free flowing. Over here we do have the same kind of gunmetal-ish color trim around this pauldron with the Ultramarines logo with the blue background tongue twister and the upside down ohm symbol, which is the Ultramarines symbol. Now if you notice here, he has like an iron hands kind of arm. So if you knew anything about the new figures coming out, the iron hands are coming, and this is probably the same piece we're going to be getting in that set of 4 different characters. So gives you an idea of what to look forward to if you do want to pick up the iron hands. We do have the red elbow pad, so that's probably what we're going to get there. Over here we do have a device on his gauntlet. It's his hands. Now he has a hose already pre-attached. It's kind of stuck. It's actually very flexible, very nice and vivid. Some silver connectors here around the different pieces, so you can see how flexible that is. Fortunately, it's kind of stuck. This goes to his power pack. This is on the back here. You have some black side there, nice trim. Spinning around, so you've got that really nice logo there again on the power pack, which is really cool. Some vents. On this vent, we do have a post here for the additional accessories. These do rotate. It looks like I'm missing a thruster. How about that? I don't know if that's supposed to be like that, or am I missing one? That's unfortunate. I'll have to look into that and see. Anyhow, here's the hose. Pretty cool. Through. Before I put that on, here he has these removable pouches. These are definitely a new piece here. I haven't seen these before. Something through there, like a silver piece of metal. Double pouched. We have the pistol case with the grip. It's definitely different too. This is larger. Some silver studs through there on the back. We have some silver studs there. Pretty much the same kind of armor we're seeing. Some silver studs there. Ultramarine Lego there. And let's see if this fits. Yeah, it's very tight. Then we have this claw piece. It's not as flexible as the product images actually make you want to believe. It's very stiff, believe it or not. Very stiff, and has this claw piece on it. Huh. So yeah, that's him right there. So far, looks pretty cool. I wonder if that's in my box. Or if that's missing. That's irritating when that happens. How about that? Alright. Pretty cool. So let's see what else we got with this character. Alright. Okay, I took a look at the box. I think I am good. We'll see here why in a second. Here we have this device here. We have a hinge here. We have the flexible hose, a hinge here, and then we have the claws that are articulated that you could grab stuff with. Then we have a articulation here, and I believe you can do side to side with this thing. This is pretty articulated piece of equipment here. These are definitely articulated. This piece does not move. I can tell because there's a little hose that goes up there. So that's pretty. There's a lot of movement just in this little piece. And this is, I think, this is why I don't believe I'm missing a vent, because that's where that plugs in at. So that's pretty clever by Joytoy to add that piece like that. And of course that's articulated on that ball. And then that really gets you into a very tall piece on your shelf. I can't wait to see the Space Wolves Techmarine. His looks amazing and has the wolf head on the claw head. Yeah, I can't wait to see that and get that in hand. That is definitely one of my figures I'm looking forward to. Okay, let's see. Guys, see that? There's an out of frame. There he is. It definitely adds to his height. Insane. Because of this alternate head, this is crazy Mad Max. The gunmetal side of his head here. Look at that. It's like something out of Mortal Kombat. Black hose, silver, a lot of paint, some yellow, optic there and done in green, yellow and black tubing. That actually nice because it really makes it flow. You have this on his chest, so you have it on his head also. A lot of little studs through his head there. I'm not sure if there's not going to be silver studs, I don't think. It's the back of it. Well, that's incredible. Mr. Tybestis, you are a machine. You are a Terminator. Very cool. Next up, you do get this piece. It's like a I'm trying to think of like a type of a heavy bolt pistol in a way, but it's not. Here you have the casing here, the gold rounds, drilled barrel, drilled through the side. You can see that has red and green optics right there. Maybe laser pointer, and with that, I believe it goes right here on here. So, oh, it fits pretty nicely. And of course, you are going to articulate that ball and get that any way you want. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Super cool. This piece isn't very friendly. There's a lot going on this dude. Very cool. Here is a pistol. Pretty cool. Interesting. I think this is a new one. I've seen this before. Very cool. Gunmetal with the black. Nothing drilled in the front though. Different. Very interesting. Here's the top of it. Let's see how his hands feel. Pretty stiff. I don't want to break them. This one's an expensive figure. It can cost you about 70 bucks, I think. I mean, you got a lot to see. There's a lot going on with this character, but that really caught my eye, believe it or not, was this new weapon. This thing is phenomenal looking. like a geared big trident slash axe device. Very pointy here, so be careful. Gunmetal with the gold here. We have the gears, the iron skull done in gold. Got like this crescent wrench here, looking piece, a hose, very stiff. We have the blue optics there, gold trim there. That's really, really nice. This thing is massive too. Let me look at the handle sculpt. Oh, that's pretty sweet, nice texture. Just the base, the black on the bottom. Give you an idea how tall this thing is. He's taller than the figure. That's insane. That is a really nice piece. You guys now look at that. That's super cool. I'm very excited to have that in my collection. Okay, last but not least, we have some hands. There's trigger finger, 2 fingers I should say, pointing, fist. Then we have the open hand, so I really like those. Then we have the iron hand. You can swap out the iron hand or open hand. Okay, so we looked at all the accessories. We talked about the figures, overall aesthetic. Okay, let's take a look at some of the articulation because I'm really interested to see how this works with the, because we are going to have the iron hands coming soon. So we have the head goes up and down, side to side, all around 360. So here we have 360 rotation here around, kind of gets knotted up a little bit with the hoses. So, but it's there if you want it. I'm not going to force it. These are pretty free flowing. It's like they're on a ball joint, maybe. These are like the old style. No, it has the strap underneath there, so I'm not going to force that. But I'm really impressed on how much movement you get out of these. That's pretty cool. On this arm, we just have basically a 9-degree bend. It's not a double joint elbow, unfortunately. So it's just a 9-degree bend. And we have a rotation here, 360. A little bit up and down. I'm not sure. I don't think. Yeah, it's definitely going to be on a ball peg, because here's the other hand. So there's a ball peg there. Because there's a cup design here, I think that's going to hinder your ups and downs, and ins and outs, and all in between. But you can get the rotation on that one. So definitely hindrance there, which I hope they maybe modify that for the iron hands group. Over here we have the double joint elbow, of course. And then you can see the hand here, we have 360. Up and down, in and out, all kind of good stuff. For the chest, and back and forth, side to side, 360 rotation. We can get that. Yep, we can get that, no problem. Splits not so much this way, a little better that way. Thigh cut, 360, double jointed knees, very cool. The feet, same I think, pretty much side to side. Back and forth, and we have the toe articulation up on the figure. So yeah, pretty much standard what we're used to seeing in articulation, except for the iron hand, which is going to be interesting for that purpose when we do get our iron hand figures in hand. So I'm betting they're not going to modify that. That's probably a part that they plan on using for the Techmarines and the iron hands. So let's just hope we get some type of modification for that. I love this drill. That looks cool. That looks really cool. This is a really, really cool figure. Some of my cons. Let's see here. I'll just say one thing is this. This is kind of, it doesn't want to flow as good as you would hope. Like there's no articulation. It kind of just hangs like a tail. I'm afraid to spin it without breaking it off. It doesn't want to spin very well. So I'm going to be careful with that. I'm sure that's kind of a waste unless this needs heated or something like that. I don't want to break the plastic until I get a better look at it. The iron hand, lack of articulation. Other than that, the pauldrons actually move pretty freely. I don't like the strap for it to be too versions of the pauldrons, but I'm quite surprised on how well they move with the strap inside there. So, there's a lot of pros here. I mean, I love all the gear you get. Oh, this is really done very nice. I was surprised by all articulation here. The weapons here. The overall, this is a 3D sculpt. This isn't like a painted on. This is all sculpted on. That's really cool. I love the gears and stuff. And this is painted on here, but this is sculpted very nicely. And the hoses, I love that the hoses are free flowing. They're not just attached or sculpted on. They actually took the time. They manufactured separate rubber pieces, went into the chest piece, into his backpack area, and made that look really cool because they do move very smoothly. I like the new pieces we're getting. Like this piece is pretty cool. I'm not sure what that is, but you can see that there's something through there, like a piece of metal. This is very large for what the magazine is, for the handle. So it kind of like is not very well in scale. He kind of gets a little back heavy if you don't stand him, you know, properly. He does have big feet, so it's not really that noticeable. But if you're leaning back too far, he will fall backwards, as you can see. You got to find a nice point there. It's not hard. It's relatively easy. Hands are kind of stiff. You might like heat those up if you want to put weapons in his hands. I love the extra head sculpt. I think it looks really cool. That's really awesome. Very, very nice. And I was able to take his head off quite easily. So here's what it looks like with the alternate head, unhelmeted head. That looks pretty sick. I love these, just all the details here. Studs throughout. The pros definitely outweigh the little bit of cons that there are. Do recommend this figure, this character. He looks amazing if you want something unique. I'm not sure how I feel about the color. The biggest thing for me, believe it or not, is the color. I know it's the way it's supposed to look like, but like, for my Space Marines, like, units fit. I wanted them all to fit together with like the same color. Like all my Marines would be blue, all my Blood Angels would be red. I know we have the Death Company for the Blood Angels, but like, I don't know, they're more of a unit whenever they kind of match. But this is kind of like offsetting in a large display with a bunch of Ultramarines. You know, you have, you know, the blue here obviously, but like, I think it'd be pretty cool in blue, but it didn't have a Blood Angels version of a Techmarine, in my opinion. But it's not a deal breaker. It's really cool. I'm glad to have him. It's kind of, so this is one of the more expensive ones, obvious reasons. A lot of tooling, a lot of parts. So probably want to see it again, especially the hands. And probably see some of these in the new Space Wolves Techmarine. And I'm sure we'll get more Techmarines for other chapters. But pretty cool. Highly recommend them. Hope you guys liked this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching so much. And we'll see you in our next review.